Hi everyone. So, this happened about a year ago, and it's still pretty freaky. For context, my friend and I are both 22-year-old females. My friend Anna and I were bored one weekend and decided to go to a popular beach to take some pictures and just mess around. So we took pictures and had a really lovely day. Then on the way back, we were starving, so we decided to stop at McDonald's in the beach town. This town is really famous and nice. All the celebrities live there, and it's beautiful. There's also a super famous restaurant right off the highway on the beach that's known for celebrities and rich people going. This McDonald's was directly across the street from the restaurant. Since so many famous people go to this restaurant and it's on a pretty busy road, most of them have drivers that take them, usually in big black Escalades. The drivers would usually hang out in the parking lot of that McDonald's while their bosses ate across the street. Anna and I didn't know this at the time. We just wanted a McFlurry. So we go to McDonald's, and right when we get out of the car, she starts acting really weird. She triple checks that the car doors are locked and grabs her fancy camera to bring inside. I ask her what's up, and she says there's a group of guys, the drivers, standing in front of McDonald's, smoking and staring at us, and it was giving her the creeps. I'm a pretty chill and trusting person, so I don't think much of it. It's a busy place in a super nice town. I'm not worried. We go in, and there are a few people in there about our age. We get our food and sit at the table to eat. One of the drivers comes in and sits a few booths down with his back to the wall, right where he can see us. My back is to him, but Anna gets really creeped out and wants to leave. This guy isn't eating or anything, he's just staring at us. Again, this is a pretty crowded McDonald's in one of the nicest towns in Southern California, so I feel pretty safe. Living in South Central, you get used to the odd creep. Still, Anna was freaked out, so I agreed to go. I just have to run to the restroom first. It was one of those McDonald's where the counter and main dining room were in one big room, and then there was a sort of hallway off to the side of the counter with more seating, and then the bathroom at the end, way in the back. There was also a door going outside right next to the bathrooms. The bathroom has only 2 stalls. I just walked into the first stall, not really paying attention to whether or not anyone else is in there. So, I'm in there doing my thing, and then I hear the door open and I hear Anna call my name. At this point, I'm very confused since she's supposed to be watching our stuff, and I'm like, "Yeah? What's up?" She asks, "Are you okay?" "Yeah? Just peeing?" I reply. She was like, "Oh, okay," and just stands there in the doorway. After a second, I hear her leave and I'm thinking, that's very weird. So I walk out of the bathroom and see her waiting by the door with all of our stuff in her hands. I ask her what's going on and why she came in the bathroom, and she just looks at me really panicky and is like, "We need to leave right now." At this point, I'm still not afraid, just confused. We rush out to the car and she starts telling me what had happened. Turns out, when I walked into the bathroom, the creepy driver followed me in a little while after. I don't remember hearing him come in, but maybe I did and just assumed someone else had either been in the stall next to me and was leaving, or had just come to check their makeup or something. I'll be honest, I really wasn't paying attention. I know for sure I wasn't aware that anyone had entered the stall next to me because he didn't close the stall door when he came in. She was on her phone, so she didn't see him follow me either. A young guy noticed it and went up to my friend, asking if we knew the driver. Frantic, she told him we did not and ran in to check on me. He was in the stall next to me with the stall door open. It was the large handicap stall, not making a sound. She came in and didn't see him, so she called my name to make sure I was still alive, and he rushed out of the stall past her. She was in shock and didn't know what to do other than gather our things and prepare to run. When we went to her car, he was sitting in his big black car with tinted windows next to us, still staring. We sped off, and when I got the story, we called the McDonald's to let them know what had happened. They didn't really care, and then we called the non-emergency sheriff line to report it as well, which was closed. Thank you, Malibu, for nothing. Eventually, My mom went full on mama bear and threatened to blast it all over social media that they didn't take my report seriously, and got a hold of someone at corporate from there. They checked their cameras and they saw the guy follow me in. A police report was made, so hopefully this never happens to anyone else again. Thank God nothing happened, but it was really scary. The guy was sitting in his car staring at us when we left. Who knows what he was planning on doing? So, guy in the McDonald's bathroom, let's not meet. Hey, I'm Madi, and I'm 16 years old. I live in Morocco and just lived a creepy event, and I'm so excited to be able to share it here. So, here's my story. I live in an apartment with my family, and I'm in a period where I need to focus for my final exams. Today, as usual, I'm sick, and so I didn't go to school. I use this free time to practice more for the upcoming tests, and at approximately 8 p.m., my father called me and suggested me a car ride in order to spend time with each other. My parents are divorced, so when I'm with my mother, I see him less often than my mother. So I was with my father for like 30 minutes, and it was nice. We arrived in front of the building where I live with my mother. I said goodbye to him, and I went towards the building. I pushed the button of the intercom so that my mother opens me the door, and I saw the food deliverer with his motorcycle parked just next to me. So here comes the problem. I thought he was going to deliver something to a neighbor. Nothing unusual here, but there was something off. Firstly, usually deliverers in Morocco, I don't know if that's the case in other countries, have like a box where they store food in order to keep it warm. But this guy didn't have one. He was holding the bag with the food in his hand while riding the motorcycle. Also, he opened his phone like he was going to check a delivering app, but as I said, he didn't have the box or the logo of a delivering service anywhere on him. So even if my mother unlocked the door, I preferred not to open and talk to the guy. I order from restaurants and fast foods a lot, and I'm used to see deliverers and even talk a bit with them to try and make them laugh. I know it's a hard job because of people being jerks, so I try to be as friendly as possible. So I start by saying hi and how are you bro in Moroccan, and the guy was super nice. He had a great smile and a nice way of talking, but he took time before answering me like if he was lagging. But it's okay, it happens. Maybe he was stressed or preoccupied, so nothing to worry about. I asked him what door number is it, and he replied 42, which is odd because the last door of the building is on the 14th. So I told him to check the app, and then I tried to watch his phone even though I'm not next to him, and instead of opening a delivering app, he opened WhatsApp and didn't even open a chat. Then he said door 11, and at this moment, I knew something was wrong because I live at the 12th door, and so the 11th door is right next to me, and I am sure that my neighbors weren't the one to order because they were on a trip. So then I got a little bit stressed up and told him that it must be an error because of the reason that I just told you, but he insisted to go in and told me that he's used to deliver at this address and that he knows where he needs to go. He also tells me that the customer knows him and that he asked him to be quick because he liked his food to be as hot as possible. I clearly said to him that I couldn't let him enter the building, but I was going to check if the guys on the 11th door were back from their trip, and if so, I was going to let them know that he was here. I also told him that the guard of the building was usually at the cafe next by and that he could go talk to him. I also lied to him and told him that my dad was waiting for me and that I just needed to go to the WC for a sec. He was angry at first, but he immediately changed his attitude and became friendly again. I asked him to step aside, and then I asked again my mother to unlock the door and enter. I was still nervous, and while I was walking towards the elevator, I got suddenly really scared because I didn't hear the door close behind. I felt so dumb because I could have closed it myself, but at this moment, I was sure he was entering the building. I immediately started running towards the staircase, and at that same time, he tried to throw the bag he was holding at me. I don't know why, but he missed. At this moment, I am thinking really quickly. I have Crohn's disease, which is to be short a disease that causes inflammation of the intestines and pain. But according to my doctor, it also explains why I'm an anxious person and why I usually think too much. And so, I already thought in the past of a scenario where I needed to hide from something in the building. I know it's weird, but I've come to this conclusion that the underground parking garage was the best place. Sorry for my English, by the way, because it was really large due to the fact that it was shared by 4 buildings. So, I run towards the staircase and I immediately started going downstairs. Before I continue, I need to say that I'm a pretty tall guy, 192 centimeters or 6'3", and so it's difficult for me to hide quickly. And so I run and I hear him chasing me. And at this moment, I remember that the other buildings have their own doors in the parking lot, so runs towards one of them. I see someone from afar and start screaming, "Call," name of the caretaker of the building, quickly, but he didn't react and then enter one of the doors. I go upstairs, open the door of the building, and enter the bakery just next to it. Luckily, I find the caretaker, or the concierge, I don't know how to say it in English, and explain to him really quickly what's happening. He immediately got out of the bakery and started chasing him, but he was too far away and was running towards his motorcycle, so we couldn't catch him. I was tired of all that running, but strangely I wasn't shocked at all. And still, while writing this, I feel a bit excited about what happened. Am I weird? I'm definitely not going to tell my parents because otherwise they will forbid me to go out alone or take a taxi. I tried to look out for the bag that he tried to throw at me, but it wasn't there anymore. I know I'm selfish for not calling the police, but prefer not to worry about it because they never do anything.